Hi everyone, I'm Anthea from Anthea Style. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video I am going to be talking all about my prep for my fall display, my decor at the front of my house. And today we're going to be starting with pumpkins. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is washing these pumpkins. I've got a little bit of mud and dirt on here, so I'm just simply going to be using soap and water. And my colors that I'm using this year are going to be the green and the white for sure. I have picked up some orange, but I'm not too sure if I want orange in my decor this year. So I might be, after I wash and dry the pumpkins and spray them with this clear coat by Krylon. It's for indoor and outdoor use, just to protect the pumpkins so that they last a little bit longer in the outdoor elements. So I'm gonna do that on all my pumpkins, but I might spray my orange pumpkins with a little bit of this. The color is called Fuzzy Moss, and it's a premier paint, and it says interior and exterior paint. So that's similar in color. I'm not sure if it's gonna come out lighter than this color here or darker, but whichever way, I'm fine with that. So I might do that on some of my orange pumpkins because I have a pumpkin outside that is this moss green and it has orange in it naturally. So I thought it might be neat just to tone down the orange so that my decor color scheme matches better. So here we go. We're going to start washing and prepping all of my pumpkins. So I've got a new microfiber towel here. I want to get this tag off and it's not coming. I'm going to get some scissors. And I'm just laying this on my counter so that after I wash the pumpkins, I have somewhere just to lay them so the water doesn't drip all over the place. And it just helps to dry, and then I'll take another cloth and dry it afterwards. So again, I'm just using soap and water, nothing fancy, just a little bit of dish soap that I have here, and just with some lukewarm water. And I'm just filling my sink just a little because you don't really need a lot of water. It's just to wash them off. And then in the other sink, I'll just rinse them. And that I'll just use my spray to do so. You don't need to fill that sink for that. I'm washing this pumpkin in preparation for when I spray it with the clear coat so that it adheres nicely, and then there's no dirt in the paint, and then the pumpkin isn't going to rot as much sitting out front with the moisture on my step, and it'll give it just a nice clear finish on it, make it look pretty. So that's basically it. And then I'm just going to spray it with lukewarm water just to rinse off the soap. So just make sure you get in all the crevices, all the grooves, because the water likes to sit there. And I want to make sure that the clear coat adheres to the pumpkin in all the crevices there. And the pumpkin actually has its own natural shine on it, if you can see that under the light there. But again, I am wanting to do the clear coat to protect the pumpkin while it's sitting outside. Okay, so one pumpkin done. And this white pumpkin actually looks dirtier than it is. It's just the natural markings of the pumpkin from being outside in nature. Now, I am finding that my water here is a little bit dirty, so I'm just going to quickly drain it. And that's the nice thing about not filling your sink all the way up. You don't have to wait or waste water, because it's just honestly about that much water that I put in the bottom of my sink. So I'm going to quickly just drain out that water there and clean out the dirt that's left on the bottom. And refill again. A couple of pumps of soap. remember, don't scrub too hard because then you might break the skin of the pumpkin. We don't want to do that. We want to keep it as intact as possible. That is a big pumpkin. It almost fills my entire sink. That's a real pretty pumpkin. Look at the top of that. Kind of like a star. And that one cleaned up really nice. The next step in preparing these pumpkins for use outside is to spray them with a little bleach and water, and that just helps with the bacteria, again, just keeping it clean. And that's the last step before I spray it with the clear coat paint. So here I have some bleach in a glass mason jar, and I've clearly labeled it bleach because I keep it under my kitchen sink and I don't want anybody else in my family thinking it's an actual, like a spray cleaning solution. Be careful with bleach, as some of you may know, that will certainly ruin your clothes. And I'm just putting in, I want to say, so I'm not really measuring, about 2 tablespoons of bleach. That just needs a little bit more. 2 to 3 tablespoons of bleach in an empty cleaning bottle that I have. So you don't have to have a special bottle for it, but just keep it separate again from your regular cleaning supplies. And I'm just lightly rinsing off this bottle because I had a little bleach drip down the side. I'm going to dry that off before I put that back away under my kitchen sink. And then to this bottle, I'm going to add just some lukewarm water, and I'm filling it all the way up. There you have it. And this bottle holds 473 milliliters. Again, it is not Meyer's Clean Day. It's just an empty bottle that I'm using. I didn't take the label off, and when I'm finished, I'll get rid of it. But it's 473 mils with approximately 2 to 3 tablespoons of liquid bleach. Put the cover on that, nice and tight, and just give it a little shake. And I'm going to spray. And the nice thing about spraying it in my sink, I'm working on pumpkins, but it's a nice disinfectant for cleaning my sink, so it's kind of dual purpose, which is nice. Okay. So I'm going to grab this lovely green pumpkin and put it back in the sink, and I'm going to spray it off. I'm just going to let that sit for a minute, and I'm going to grab this white one and I'll give it the same treatment. And I can actually smell that bleach really strong, so please don't put any more than 2 to 3 tablespoons of bleach. It's really quite enough on here. And because it's bleach, I'm going to use a white dishcloth that I had made. It'll help to clean my dishcloth as well as just clean up my pumpkin. Again, another dual purpose that I'm doing. Because if I were to use that black one, I would ruin my black one with the bleach on this. I don't know about you guys, but my garden this year has been attacked by critters. Squirrels, raccoons. What else did we have, Chanel? My daughter's right here laughing at me videotaping this. We had skunks, chipmunks, bunnies. I've had everything attacking my vegetable garden, my herb garden. I had peanuts all in my garden. So another reason for me doing this is I'm trying to make it not edible, and it's not going to harm the animals. I really don't feel so. So please, animal activists, don't write me about this. But I am just simply wanting to create a little barrier so that when they bite it, it's like, oh, that doesn't taste good. That's my logic. Anyway, I'm going to stick to it. So again, these are going to be sprayed with a clear coat, and or I'm going to change the color of some of the orange pumpkins. Okay. I think I've got the cleanest pumpkin around. So that one's done. I'm going to let the white one sit there just to dry off while I do this orange one. And if any of you have ever done this process, again, please engage. Let me know. If you have any other tips for preparing your pumpkins, let us know as a community and share the love and help us all with our decor. Be interesting to see what everybody does or doesn't do. Okay, she's all ready to go. There you have it. So now we're going to let it dry. I'm going to get another clean towel and actually dry it off even more so that it'll be ready for me to spray it with the clear acrylic paint. And we're just going to rinse off our dishcloth here. It's all nicely bleached and clean, nice and white again. I'm going to use a little bit of soap on it. Give it a good scrub. Those of you that follow my channel know that I recently launched a new product line of hand crocheted blankets. So something that I also like to do for my home is hand crochet dishcloths. And I really like them because they're homemade, because I make them. But when you're wiping a counter that's got, for example, crumbs on it, it picks all the crumbs up. Much nicer than just a plain store-bought dishcloth like that. So it's a little bit chunkier wool, and it really is a nice thing to have. Okay. So pumpkin's all cleaned and dishcloth cleaned and sink is all nice and fresh, ready to go. Yeah. Yeah. 1 second. So once these pumpkins are completely dry, I'll be taking them outdoors into the back and I'll be giving them a good coat of spray with, again, it's called Krylon Color Paint and Primer. It's gloss crystal clear indoor outdoor spray. And I got this one at our local Michael's craft store. And ladies, don't forget, use your 30% off coupon on your phone. If you don't have the app, get the app and get 30% off of single items that you're buying, okay? So there you have it. And then this orange one, once I've, again, it's dried properly, I will first be spraying it with the clear coat, which is the protector, and then I'm going to be doing the spray moss over it. Now, whether that's going to be solid green like this one, or if I'm going to just be kind of doing it randomly to make it look like the other pumpkin that I have outside that's got the orange and green on it, I'll have to see. This is the pumpkin that I was talking about that has the green with the orange in it. So that's why I'm thinking of spraying this with the fuzzy moss paint to make it look a little bit similar to this, so it's not as stark, bright orange. And it'll match in with my color scheme for this year a little bit better, I think, than the bright orange. The nice thing about this Krylon spray paint is that it dries in 10 minutes. So if you have a ton of pumpkins to do, which I do have, I've got pumpkins and gourds to do, it's not going to take that long. You could get everything all washed, all dried off, bring them outside, spray them all at once. So I'm going to continue doing that. And we'll start with the orange pumpkin. Just a light dusting. And the reason that you're doing a light dusting is you don't want it to streak. goes pretty quick. And make sure to do this in a well-ventilated area. I'm outside, so I'm okay, but if you're doing this indoors, please make sure to wear a mask and have proper ventilation. I'm even going to spray the stalk on this one, especially the top. Again, we're trying to preserve it from rotting and any bacteria growing on it. So I think that's good. I'm just going to catch this side here. Okay, so there we go. Now, before I do this pumpkin, I'm going to take my gloves off and I'm going to use saran wrap. And you're probably saying saran wrap. Well, I'm using that because I don't want the stalk of my pumpkin to be sprayed the fuzzy moss color. So I'm going to try and cover that up as best as I can so the stalk doesn't get covered with paint. Wrap it around right to the bottom. Now these little star points here, they'll probably get covered with the green paint, but I'm fine with that. It's just mainly the stalk this way up the vertical piece that I don't want to have any paint on it. Now my saran wrap is giving me a little bit of trouble, so I'm actually going to just tie a little knot there to keep it on, okay? So gloves back on. And one more shake. And again, light, even coats. Now I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm not sure if I'm going to do solid. I'm just watching the wind blowing, getting paint on my clothes. I don't know. Kind of a marbled effect. What do you guys think? I'm just going to come around. Do this side here. And I'm going to stand back and take a look. Now what I want to do, just to compare it, I want to put the actual one that came naturally green beside it. And it is a lighter green. I think on this pumpkin, I'm going to spray it in its entirety completely green. I don't know if I'm truly liking that look with that orange showing through like that. And I have several other orange pumpkins, so I can certainly try maybe a smaller one to see what it looks like. And the very top has a little bit more of the orange showing through. So, not to overdo this, I think that is where I'm going to stop. And remember I said, if you like more of a matte look or a satin look, then you need to make sure to buy a paint that doesn't say gloss on it. Mine says gloss, but something to note, there was no other type to get in that particular fuzzy moss in that green. There wasn't any satin and there wasn't any matte where I live. I'm here finishing up with some of my pumpkins. All of the ones that I had sprayed, they are drying now. Again, it's only going to be about 10 minutes. And I didn't spray them a solid green. I let some of the orange show through. So hopefully that all works out nicely for my display. And right here I have some gourds that I'm finishing up. They're kind of strange looking, but they have the color scheme that I'm looking for this year for my fall display. And I'll do the clear acrylic spray over these so I can use those as my final pieces in my fall decor for my front porch. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Anthea Style, so you don't miss when the next video is up. And if you're already following, please make sure to like and comment. Please engage with me and let me know how you're liking the videos, any feedback that you have, any suggestions that you have that we can all share together as a community on doing our fall decor displays. Thanks for watching.